You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Tonight, Raw was in England. Let's get down to brass tacks. The week after WrestleMania, we saw the return to WWE of Brock Lesnar, who simply F5 John Cena in the middle of the ring. Then the next week, we got the inclusion of John Laurinaitis, the fact that he was wrestling John Cena at Extreme Rules. Brock Lesnar did attack John Cena again, punching him in the mouth, causing him to bleed. I wasn't super interested in the Brock Lesnar stuff as of last week. It was a cool visual, but tonight Lesnar hit a home run with that promo. And the thing that made it interesting is that it was shot in a completely different way than we see most WWE anything shot.
But it's not unfamiliar. At least it's not unfamiliar if you're a regular fan of UFC. Correct.
But, I mean, taking aspects from the UFC and putting it into the WWE, it gave an aura of freshness to it. I mean, Lesnar cut a really good promo, and on top of that, the way it was shot and featured, I think it did more for him than everything but his debut. I mean, I was a really big fan of what they did tonight.
Yeah, overall, I liked it really well. I liked what Lesnar had to say. It sounded tough. You know, I'm still not liking this feud because there's no legitimate reason for it to happen at all. There's nothing natural about it at all other than Brock Lesnar shows up and wants to kick John Cena's ass. We still don't know why. We don't know for what reason. We don't know what's motivating him, other than the fact that, you know, he came back to the WWE to cause mayhem. I guess he was inspired by an Allstate commercial. I don't know.
Potentially. And, you know, I mean, unfortunately, I mean, that's kind of the environment we're in right now in WWE. Unfortunately, maybe not all the holes are filled in. But currently, I have to say, you know, when someone makes a good step, I mean, I think you do have to acknowledge the fact they made a good step. And, I mean, I thought that, I mean, there's not much from tonight I'm going to remember next week. But I think up until the pay-per-view, I will remember Brock Lesnar's promo. I mean, it's just baffling how they're able to hit a home run with this. Maybe a triple, depending on your opinion. But they can't do that weekly with anyone else. I mean, we even saw it throughout the evening with Daniel Bryan and everyone else. Everyone else is shot completely the same backstage vignettes. This thing was different. I mean, Kev, the team is called the Creative Team. But what we get out of them is a lot of creative nonsense. I mean, we get rock concerts and jokes and John Cena telling jokes into the camera and these storylines that they come up with are usually not very interesting. And some of the situations they put these guys in, I can go on. And I understand that it's not just the members of the creative team, but let's face it, I mean, some of the ideas come from this creative team. You know, I mean, I don't sit in the room. I don't know who pitches what. But, I mean, let's face it, that, you know, this is their product. Not 100%, but it's their product. I don't understand why, and you know, you brought up a good point, Kev, that this thing is ripped from the UFC. But, I mean, why can't we get original things for each of these guys?
Because it takes too much time and effort to do that. And the reality is that while WWE is full of talented guys, there's still only so much room that you can have on TV. There's only so much time to tell stories. And you basically have to pick and choose. Who are we going to push? Who are we going to promote? Who is going to carry the load for this week's show, this month's programming, this month's pay-per-view? You know, unfortunately, not everybody can be the superstar. And I don't think everybody does need to be the superstar, But those who are not going to be the superstar for this week, whatever they're doing, they need to find something different to do it, because the way they're trying to write is they're trying to make everybody the superstar, but they can't.